The days are longer, the calendar is filling up, and I want to feel as good as this beautiful summer weather. That's why I've been loving Groons. It's one daily pack of gummies that covers my greens, vitamins, and minerals, and even has 6 grams of prebiotic fiber. So I don't need to juggle a complicated wellness routine on top of everything else. They taste amazing. They're easy to toss in my bag on the go. Plus, they're vegan, gluten free, and HSA, FSA eligible for reimbursement. Save up to 52% off with promo code podcast at gruns.co. That's code podcast at gruns.co.
It's the Go Gopher Podcast with Mike Grimm, episode number 31. I am Mike Grimm, voice of the Golden Gophers, and welcome back to the podcast. Well, last week we talked about the best places to eat in the Big Ten. This week we're going to talk about the best places to watch games in the Big Ten, meaning the actual venues. And yes, the same crew returns. We will hear favorite Big Ten venues from the Gopher Radio Network crew, and our crew here today includes Gopher women's basketball announcer Justin Gard. He also travels with the football team as the top sideline guy in the Big Ten. We also get some insight from the radio voices of Golden Gopher men's hockey, Wally Shaver and Frank Mazzacco. And special guest Dan Riesig returns. He was a longtime Gopher sports communication staff member. He's literally attended hundreds of Big Ten events over the years. Our Go Gopher podcast is presented by alumni-owned Sunbelt Business Advisors and True North Mergers and Acquisitions. If you're a business founder planning to exit your business, start by contacting Sunbelt Business Advisors and True North Mergers and Acquisitions. Sunbelt serves more businesses up to $5 million in revenue than anyone, and True North M&A serves companies with revenues up to $150 million. Get a confidential, no-cost, no-obligation business valuation started today. Make the most of your life's work. Visit sunbeltminnesota.com or tnma.com today. They do so much for the community. They recently teamed up with PJ Fleck's Row the Boat Foundation for a great event benefiting the Masonic Children's Hospital. Our podcast is also sponsored by State Farm agent Tony Hoagland at ChamplinInsurance.com. Tony is a big Golden Gopher fan. And it's my pleasure to welcome to the podcast another great Golden Gopher partner. We're so proud to welcome Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union on board with their partnership of the Go Gopher podcast. Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union is your local Minnesota credit union for all of your banking needs, including the top-rated mobile app. Affinity Plus loves supporting the Gophers and Gopher causes. You can learn more at affinityplus.org/Go Gophers. I like the sound of that, as we, of course, have the Go Gopher podcast. Affinity Plus, welcome aboard. And may I suggest to Gopher fans, support those who support the Gophers. Affinity Plus, federally insured by NCUA. I also invite you to subscribe to our podcast. It's free to click on the subscribe button. You can listen at any time for free. You can also go back to listen to our previous podcast. That includes last week's show, this same crew talking about the best spots to eat around the Big Ten. When we come back, we take another tour of the Big Ten, this time the best venues to watch a game. Have a listen. I think you'll enjoy it. And if you have any other spots you've liked in your travels around the league, you want to let us know, do so. We're talking stadiums, buildings, barns, rinks, and arenas in the Big Ten. First, a word from Tony.
Hey Gopher fans, this is your State Farm agent Tony Hoagland. We are super excited to be part of the new Mike Grimm Show on Talk North. For the year of 2022, we will be donating $10 to the University of Minnesota Children's Masonics Hospital for everyone that calls our office or checks in with us online and mentions that they heard about us on Talk North and the Mike Grimm Show. We are really excited again that Mike came on board with Talk North. You can reach us at 763-421-4900. You can find us on the web at ChamplinInsurance.com. Again, 763-421-4900, or find us on the web at ChamplinInsurance.com. Row the boat, Sky Yuma, go Gophers.
It's episode 31, the Go Gopher podcast. Mike Grimm with you. As hopefully all of you heard last week, we had a great show on eateries around the Big Ten, favorite places. We have our roundtable back, Justin Gard, Gopher women's basketball play-by-play, and Gopher football sideline, and the sidekick on our flagship in the afternoon with Dan Barrero. Justin
Good
Gard,
to be
good
back,
to see
man.
you. Dan Riesig, former Golden Gopher men's basketball SID, and I got called him a foodie last week and got chewed out for it. So what would you like me to call you?
I don't know. Bon vivant.
Okay, whatever you say. We'll self-describe you as that. Frank Mazzacco, good to see you. Gopher Hockey Radio, voice of you, and Wally Shaver here, voices of Gopher Hockey, and good to see you and welcome back.
Thanks very much.
And Wally, good to see you and welcome back.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
All right, so we did food last week. We're going to do venues this week, favorite venues in the Big Ten. And so I've asked you each to hopefully have your 3 favorite trips.
What's a vet? You mean like the whole trip, or just
maybe
the
favorite play, the whole experience. Like you count in the arena's great, the campus is great, the food's great. What's your favorite spot to visit? And if that's separate from, like, you might say, hey, I love to go into Michigan because I like the Big House, but I'm not a big fan of the city. You can separate it.
Okay.
Hey, we can your own rules. Yeah, make your own rules here. So we'll just kind of work through. We'll start with number 3. The number 3, your third favorite.
Oh, we
venue.
have to have a list.
Yes.
Oh, we're counting down a list. I didn't read the email. I just was told to show up at a certain
All right.
time.
Do we not want to do it that way? Do you want to just rattle off your 3 favorite, Guardsy? Let's do it that way. That'll be easier. All right.
Let me think about it for a minute. Are we doing football or are we doing basketball?
Whatever you want.
Or are we doing hockey?
Well, for you, it'll be a combo.
Yeah.
We'll get 6 total venues.
It probably would. Yeah.
You really got pressure.
Yeah. Now I got to think. I do like Michigan.
Okay.
Not because the Big House to me is underwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
agree.
I thought it would be. I don't know what I thought it would be. But what I like about places like the Big House and why I think I like college sports, and I think you agree with me on this, Grimmer, is that I like walking around the concourse of the Big House, and they have like their 1901 championship team, like right up there, right? And then you just go around and you just look at all these different people that have been right there. Even in the press box, like you go up and look, and I mean, there's been so many great players, like you forget how many great players have been there, but you got a Desmond Howard picture or a Tom Brady picture, whatever you want to do. So I like places where there's a very deep history. And in terms of the environment, I think it's just okay. We haven't been there lately. I think it's probably changed over a little bit since Harbaugh got it going back again. But so I would say I like Michigan because of the history, and I'm gonna have to think about the other ones.
You've given me one football stadium.
Well, I like Michigan. I like Nebraska because I do think that's just a unique deal, and I like any place like. There's 9 memorial stadiums that we go to, it seems like, right?
Yeah.
So, which I think is great. I mean, we used to have one. I just like the older places that have been around. I like Champaign, which is weird, because people go, Champaign, that's nothing. Well, it's kind of in a cool spot. It's kind of in a cool setting. I love the brick.
It's a beautiful structure.
It's just a really cool place to be there. So in terms of venues, I probably like those. Towns we can get into later, like overall experiences and game day vibes, because those vary very differently. Don't like going to Northwestern. Although if for my job, I love going to Northwestern because there's nobody ever there. There's nobody on the visitor's sideline, and I can hear whatever I want to hear. Yeah. There's places like at Kinnick Stadium, I can't do anything except pick up, vomit, and get sworn at.
Yeah,
and that's like not that far off because it's a tight sideline. I'm watching 60-year-old men yell at these college kids from 4 feet away. Like that sucks. Illinois. Champaign, there's no one on the visitor's sideline. I can hear everything I need to hear for the broadcast. Like, I feel like I can be productive. In Iowa City, it's like, I got nothing. We're in the student section, and I can't hear. I might be getting hit with a beer can. Don't throw to me.
That's half how Dan Roth and I about got in a fight.
But that's it. Yeah. So for me, a lot of the venue has to do with also like ease of access to do the job. Yeah. There's environment. There's all of that. So I gave you more than you probably asked for.
No, that's good. But so that's your football ranking.
Probably, yeah.
So I'm going to go Nebraska 1. I'll do as long as we're on football. Nebraska 1. It just and I'm not a big Nebraska fan, as you might guess.
No.
And I love the fans' hospitality at the place. Like it's just really nice.
It's real. What you hear about it is real. That 100%. They're very nice.
And the staff at the press box, they're just been there forever, and they treat you
Michigan's
great.
like that.
Michigan is like that.
Yep.
But their fans on social media suck.
I know, it's weird.
It's brutal. Like they're delusional a little bit.
Yeah.
But anyway, it is what it is. But that's a great place to go to a game. Like people ask a lot, like, hey, if you could pick one place to go to a football game, and we've been to all the places now.
some more than others. Nebraska, to me, one part of it is because you can hop in the car from here. It's 6 hours. You get down there and go to the game, and they're so passionate about their team. I mean, love it or hate it, you got to respect it. I mean,
I told
it's
you
incredible.
When I went for women's basketball and I flew into Omaha and I got a ride down to Lincoln last year, the hour drive, I felt like I was on a Nebraska sports podcast because this dude knew everything about every sport.
The driver.
It's not just football. I mean, we hit football, we hit men's and women's basketball, we hit everything. Like volleyball, he was just, I'm like, I feel like I'm on like the Go Big Red podcast right now, and he's asking me about the Big Ten, but that's how passionate the guy was.
Well, and they started, I think they were the ones that kind of started the live tunnel walk, and now everyone kind of does it, but they were the first, the live, the team comes out of the locker room, they're playing the Michael Jordan Sirius from Alan Parsons Project, and everyone's clapping along, and they're walking down. And so what year was that? It was 2013 or 2014. 2013, maybe we're down there. And the Gophers had just gotten bowl eligible. They beat Illinois the week before.
Yeah.
And
it was Tom Osborne's last game. So I think it was 2012. Are you thinking about this one?
No, it wasn't. He wasn't. We've never done a game where he was the coach. He was the athletic director.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Athletic director.
That's the one we're
I know.
talking
I
about.
haven't been working with you since 1998.
Well, I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, it was his last game as the AD. He led them out of the tunnel.
Well, that's where I'm heading with the story. Yes, I'm just asking the year. I didn't ask you. If I wanted you to tell the story, I'd have said tell the story. I was asking what year was it, and you don't know that, so I shouldn't have asked. Anyway,
2012.
2012. So the Gophers had just gotten bowl eligible. They're 6-5. And I think Pelini's the coach. He's a little at that time on the hot seat, and fans aren't. And we're going down thinking Gophers haven't beat them since 1960. Thinking, man, we just beat Illinois. We're feeling good. and the tunnel walk comes. It was our first trip there, right?
Yeah.
And it was, oh man, everyone's wearing red. The balloons go up, and the tunnel walk pops up, and nobody knew Tom Osborne was going to lead them down the tunnel walk.
Yeah.
So the locker room doors open, and here's Tom Osborne leading the Huskers for the final time as he was the longtime coach, but he's the AD. And the place is going nuts. And we had thought, oh, man, we got a shot. Gophers got a shot. This is going to be a fun day. And we're in a commercial during all this. And Guardsy, and so he can talk to us in the commercial. And Guardsy to Daryl and I says, we have no blanking shot.
And we didn't.
And it was a decent game, but it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. They got rocked, and it was the guys were getting hurt. It was, but I told you, even that 0-6 game, we talked about that last week. If you're a Gopher fan trying to figure out where the road trip is for football this year, I think it's Nebraska, because I don't think there's no Boulder. Penn State's hard to get to.
Yeah.
I would go to Nebraska. The 0-6 year, I was rattled on the sideline by how loud it was.
Yeah.
And it was 0-6.
And they're 0-6, and they were pleased, but they are so supportive.
It was Scott's
crazy.
first year.
Yeah.
And they probably thought, hey, this is one we can get. We got to help our kids here. But a guy that was working security on the field turned around to me and said, we're 0-6. He goes, can you believe this? And I told you, I go, this is louder than, maybe not the Osborne year, but we've been there a couple of times. Like, at that point, I'm like 37 years old. I'm like, oh my God, like, how are they going to play? We got Zach Annexstad, a freshman quarterback. I'm like, this is ridiculous. But the
Gophers have beaten them twice down there. They basically got Bo Pelini fired winning down there a year or two later.
Yeah.
And then got Mike Riley fired.
That was an awesome memory if we ever did memories. But anyway, to answer your question, Nebraska's probably the best one just in terms of atmosphere and vibe. And the people, like, you can go in and you're not going to get anything thrown at you. You're going to, if you beat them, they literally will. They congratulate the Gophers walking up the tunnel.
Remember, they invited us in. They didn't know we were radio guys. We had some Gopher, M on or whatever. We're walking to the bus. Hey, come on in. Come on. You just lost. I think they were kind of happy because the loss probably meant Bo Pelini was going to get fired, and some of them thought that was good. But then they got Mike Riley fired here when the worst tackling display since the, like, guys literally were trying not to tackle Gophers on that day with Nebraska. That was, 2014 probably, or whatever. But anyway.
Some coaches fired.
All right, Kinnick Stadium is 2 on my list for a number of reasons. I grew up going to games there. People know that. And it is loud, and I like when the fans give Guardsy grief on the sideline. So that's one of my favorite. And then I like Ohio Stadium.
I was underwhelmed by that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. From where I was, it was great. I love the tradition and the dotting of the I with the band. I had been there for some other games. It's loud. It's loud when it's a big game. So
it could be. 3. What stuck out to me about that was they were 8-0 one of the times that the Gophers went there, coming off a national championship season, and every fan in the place was miserable. Because they didn't think they were playing well enough.
Yeah.
And even the guy that let us into the booth said, I hope we play better this week. I'm like, you're 8-0. You just won a national title with like the fourth quarterback. I'm like, it's just how the other half lives, you know? You probably get that a little bit with Gopher hockey fans where it's like, hey, we're doing pretty well. We're number one. We're going to the Frozen Four. Like there's a little bit of an entitlement thing, which is, hey, that's great, expectations or whatever. But I just remember being like, 8-0? Like, and it was
killing everybody.
And it was probably like an 11 o'clock kick. So they probably weren't all that fired up because they'd played like 5 night games in a row, I'm guessing, in Columbus. So that one was underwhelming to me a little bit. Nice. But anyway.
So we have represented football. Dan Riesig, men's basketball, favorite venues.
Yeah, number one with a bullet, I think, has to be Assembly Hall in Bloomington. It's the only one in the Big Ten. You feel like you're walking onto a movie set. It's so much fun, especially even just shoot around, not even the games. You know, you're there, the place is empty, and you're just sitting on the bench, and you're like, Bob Knight threw that chair right over there, and it landed right over there. And I'm looking at it.
5 national title banners.
It's steeper than just about anywhere you'll ever go. I walked up, I took the elevator up to the top levels one time during shoot around, and it's impossibly high.
You need a telescope from up there to see.
It's worse than any football stadium in terms of just how high you are. It's from the 60s, maybe. Yeah, so it's not an ancient building, but it's held up really well. And it's just once you get in there for the game, it's loud, but it's not that angry loud. I mean, there are places in the Big Ten, I'm looking down my list, they're just not nice. Like Ohio State basketball fans, they're not particularly loud and they're not particularly vibrant, but they're not nice. Like you go to a game at Indiana, you appreciate the history. The fans appreciate the game. They're not terribly rude to you. I mean, you hear the same things, especially with our former coach. You heard some things, especially early on.
And the students, did you say that, are right behind the bench? Yeah. Which is, that's at a couple of spots. But there was one incident with Tubby and Donna Smith they got it almost out of hand because I'm against that. I've talked about that before, having the students right there. Even at Michigan State, there is a buffer. I mean, they're there, but there's a buffer. There is no buffer. At least we are now removed. We used to sit down there, and that to me is irresponsible.
And one other thing about Assembly Hall, I'm kind of a sucker for, you go to some of these arenas, and it's like, oh, where's the post-game press conference? Oh, it's in the softball coach's waiting room or something like that. You kind of get a little bit more sense that this is like a college athletics program. It's not like, you go to Kohl Center, you go to Bryce Jordan Center. It's like, oh, that's just another dressing room. And that's just where, Ringling Brothers was last week. There's a little bit more of a sense of place.
They actually park airplanes at the Penn State arena.
Number 2, same state, Mackey Arena. Not the most impressive building. You go in there for shoot around, you're like, it's okay. The best in-game atmosphere of anywhere in the Big Ten. There's section. Nobody louder. Yeah. There's nobody more passionate. They're not rude about it. They're into it, but it is definitely loud in there. And it's so much fun. We've had some great games there. There was the triple OT game where we flew in the morning of because we had plane trouble the night before or weather or whatever it was. And guys are just, giving every single ounce. And it was so much fun. We won there that one year. My favorite memory was having to run, and it's a long way back to the locker room. You talk about like some of these buildings being easy to work in. You had to run probably about 3/4 of the way around the arena to get to the locker room. And I had to run back to get Nate Mason out of the Victorious locker room to get him back onto the court for the post-game interview. And
with BTN?
I know this is radio, but I am not a prime athlete. Yeah, so this was a struggle for me in my suit at the time. So that's a fun memory for me. And then number 3 is kind of a toss-up, but you could go a couple different ways. I mean, the Breslin Center is great. It's great when there are people in there. The zone is as good as advertised or loud. I mentioned last week the Pinnacle Bank Arena in Lincoln is just such a fun. If I was going to a game as a fan, that's exactly what I would want to go to. Underrated. Big Ten Minnesota fans probably haven't had the chance to really experience it, but Xfinity Center in College Park, unbelievable basketball arena. When they're good and they pack that place, it's 18,000 seats. Is. I don't know which end zone it is, the student section. It's a wall. It's like Indiana, but it's all students. They unveil this huge flag. They are rude as can be. I mean, they're known for that. They almost take pride
that's your
in
home
it.
state.
Exactly. That's where you get the East Coast. And I'm going to stay on the East Coast for my last one. Underrated, the Rack.
For sure.
At Rutgers. And it's changed.
That went from the worst ever to one of the best ever.
When we started going there in 20 whatever, when they joined the league, it was like going to the old Welsh Ryan at Northwestern. It was kind of like, let's just get this over with. That place is as loud as anywhere. They're into it. They care. They support the team. And then you get the East Coast Jersey part of it too, which is really fun because you get like the voices that you hear yelling behind you. You know, I normally would sit courtside right behind the bench, right next to the bench. And the voices are totally different. When you hear guys yelling at you in New Jersey accents versus Indiana accents, it's a totally different experience.
Yeah,
so
probably so.
Really enjoy those.
Probably so. Yeah, for sure. I agree. I have Williams as my number one because from a work standpoint, to be where we're at location-wise, first row of the upper deck, it's a clean view. We could have a whole separate podcast on how referees and head coaches block views when you sit courtside. And I don't know why it is, but clearly it's not on purpose. He has bigger worries than that. But Ben Johnson, where he has decided is a convenient spot to stand, is in front of me basically on courtside. So speaking of Maryland, I joked with Spencer after that game got done down there this past year that I saw about half of it. So it's hard when you're a radio guy. And Richard Patino would go up and down different, at different spots. And then the ref would be in front, so you're trying to there, and then you got 10 guys if the ball's on the other side. So I'm not a big courtside guy. So Williams, and then Williams, if Ben can get it going, if he can get the right people, it can still be like the rack. It can be that huge advantage, and that's what we're all kind of have been waiting for now for a while to get back to that. So that's one. Some of it is just location. It's just great, the best view. Great spot. It's nice to hop in the car, get there, do the game, and go home and not, have to worry about flying in and out. Assembly Hall. So if I'm not taking home arenas, Assembly Hall with a bullet, as you said, and then Mackey Arena, same thing. Assembly Hall has the structure itself. Each side almost looks like its own opera house. It's almost a theater type seating, not a stadium type seating with this high balcony. And in a weird way, it kind of coincides with my favorite football stadium to go to in Nebraska, because it's the same way. It kind of folds up, and then it's got this very high, like that balcony at Nebraska is, and in both venues, it's kind of this higher pitch. It's a higher pitch sound, I think maybe because of how it's constructed. And then Mackey Arena just blows you out. I mean, it's so loud. The music's loud. The public address is loud. The band is right to the visiting team's left, just blaring tubas and trombones into your ear, and the student section is phenomenal, like loud, and they've been mostly good in my time. They did have a little dip in the middle of Matt Painter, and even when they were dipping, it was still a tough place to play.
Yeah, the best places are the ones where the students' energy carries over to the rest of the people there, because all these places have 60 and 70-year-old season ticket holders who've been there forever. But the places like Mackey, the places like Breslin, there's so much energy, and the marketing team and the team who work for the school do such a good job of like carrying that over. Purdue, I remember really early on, before anyone was doing it, they would show like GIF files on the video board after a bad call or after a foul shot or whatever. It's just
they were also
engaging.
They were also the first ones to do the phone app where you hold it up and then they do this pregame music, and you download an app and the flashlight turns on, and it's synchronized with, so certain sections light up. I suppose it's based on GPS. In fact, I think they're still about the only one who does that. That's pretty cool too.
You've seen it other places, but the biggest thing there is the buy-in.
100%.
You get 15,000 people doing it versus 2,000.
No doubt. So, and Garge, you've now got a year under your belt for women's hoops, and maybe there's different atmospheres in different spots.
Hockey. I want to hear what the hockey guys say.
Okay.
I mean, I have my answers. I agree with a lot of you say.
You feel sorry for Wally and Frank having to sit through this?
Well, yeah. Well, you guys talk about how great Mackey Arena is. I want to hear what the hockey guys have to say.
Think if they played hockey in Mackey Arena. Holy cow. Anyway, all right. Wally, what do you got?
Never been to Mackey Arena.
Well, let's put some ice down there. Let's get that going.
I think the unique thing with hockey, and it's probably similar to your sports too, but you've got some brand new buildings and you've got some really, really old buildings.
Right.
And one of the older ones I do like, although the angles kind of gives us problems now and then, but it's Ann Arbor at Michigan. Mm-hmm. And you're really steep looking down. You have to stand up basically, but the children of Yost are there. They've got these different sayings going, and they razz the goalkeeper who's down they're in for 2 periods a night, and it's just a neat atmosphere. And it's a building that's 100 years old.
Yeah,
it used to be the old
football field house.
Field house, yeah, that's the word I was looking for. It used to have a dirt floor in there.
Dirt floor, yeah, or maybe they trained there. They must have trained there. Yeah.
But guards, like you were saying, you go around in Michigan and you see the history, and there's so much history that Michigan Athletics does, and they display it really uniquely, and it's a fun place there. One of my favorites, though, is Penn State, and it's a newer building, but our broadcast location is right there. We're only about 10 rows away from the ice. They give you a good audio mix of the ice sounds, and as you guys know, I mean, hockey's unique in the sound on the ice with the skates slashing and sticks breaking and pucks going off bodies and boards and everything else. So you get that good mix, and I really do enjoy that. And I also like Mariucci a lot, the 3M Arena at Mariucci. That's it's one of the bigger ones. We're right up in the girders of the building, but it's just when that atmosphere gets going like it did the second half of last hockey season where you had 5 sections of students in there. And it's like you were saying, it just kind of filtered throughout the crowd, and we really became a fun place. But we also have the unique factor that we go to some markets that you guys don't. I like going up to Duluth and Amsoil Arena. Same thing.
Yeah,
New arena,
beautiful.
you're close to the ice, good audio mix coming back to us.
Sightlines are great there.
Yeah, North Dakota, you always like that just because you don't like North Dakota. But, we always go across the river to eat, though, in Minnesota.
Do not leave that money in North Dakota.
Yes. I love it.
What about you, Frank?
I'm going to go to a place that I miss, and that's Houghton.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty much a dumpy town, right? I mean, it's Michigan Tech. It might still, the male-female ratio might still be 9-1, but and then I'm not saying I like to go there because there's no women there or anything, but I'm just saying that you go there, and it's like as soon as you get out of the car or off the bus, or you're there for hockey. Mm-hmm. You're there for hockey in a winter atmosphere. The beers were cheap. I mean, when they were $4 a bottle here, you get in there for $2 a bottle, and you just and then Winter Carnival weekend is just incredible with all the ice sculptures. I don't know. It's a barn that they play in. It's been renovated. It's nicely upgraded, but the tin roof, and it's noisy, and they got this annoying band, but the atmosphere is there. And there's a lot of history there, too. So I miss Houghton as a town and as an arena.
I do, too.
Yeah. I'm going to agree with you on Penn State at Pagula. I think it's the best college atmosphere that we come in, with all due respect.
It looks beautiful from the outside.
I mean, those kids are into it. I mean, it's amazing that they opened that program, and from day one, everybody was on board. And the atmosphere was great. There's some things that are annoying, like the horn that blows after the goal.
That's awful.
Anyway.
Yeah, and the stat guy seems to like shots on goal.
Oh, my God.
Right?
We don't have a whole lot of success. We refer to the place as a house of horrors for Gophers.
Yeah,
right now.
That's true. I mean, I say that it's a good place, even though we spent that long weekend there, when 2 weekends in a row when the Gophers lost 4 straight games. And then we had to spend an extra day because we couldn't get the charter. So we were like at a funeral all day. Sad Sunday. But anyway, the restaurant there is good. The arena is good. I don't know. I guess for number one, I'll roll in both the Mariucci's. I mean, the old place it had big ice. I don't think it was the greatest ice because they had to turn the incandescent light bulbs off above the arena in March because the ice would get too soft from the heat from the lights.
Oh, wow.
Right. So the ice plant was only so. But once the lights went on, there were no lights for the seats. It was like being in a theater. The only thing that was lit was the stage, and it had on the one side a balcony. There's nothing better in any sport than watching a hockey game from a balcony.
Yeah,
it just had great atmosphere. And then there was one day when I was not on TV and was downstairs outside the dressing room before they came up. And then the guys would come up those wooden stairs, and I was like at the end of the line and following them. There, you heard this clunk, 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 clunk. And it just sounded like an army coming in for battle. It was just great. And the new place, it's still a cathedral. I mean, you walk in there. I don't know about you, but I just get that makes the job. Just walking into that.
It's a hockey building.
It's a hockey building.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's grand without being ostentatious like any particular place northwest from here,
right?
I mean, it's just a big, really nice building. When you think that it opened up in '93, so it's going to be 30 years? Next September.
And they've done some upgrades, which is nice, because it was maybe, kind of getting stale. But they've done, I'm saying like locker rooms and scoreboards and some other stuff, which is nice. And are they now making it an NHL rink?
A hybrid. They don't know the exact dimension yet because the engineers haven't figured out, but I guess they're going to blow it up next.
After this
coming season?
Yeah,
after this season.
Yeah.
Knock the floor out. They have to upgrade the refrigeration because code and Freon and all that stuff has to go away. So, and then with that, they're going to lower the floor, bring the seats in on each side. So there'll be a couple more rows of seats. And then we will be even further away from the ice.
We'll need a new prescription on the eyeglasses too.
Yes. Well, right. I'm just going to put in a word now is that if they're going to do all that, they better upgrade the lighting. We need a little bit better lighting.
You mentioned the lighting at the old Mariucci. I remember growing up watching games. I was growing up in Iowa, but you would see, games at Williams Arena. They had the same thing, right, Guardsy, where the only thing lit was the floor. I remember going to some games even in the early 90s and be in the upper deck, and you'd almost need a flashlight to read the program.
Yeah.
Now TV has changed all that. TV, even twice in my time, they've come in and made them put new lights in because you need, what is it called, lumens or whatever to make it a better TV picture.
Yep.
But, man, it was a lot because it was like, I remember going to games there, and I'm guessing Mariucci was the same way. You'd be in the upper deck. It'd be dark, kind of dirty. But that was a hell of a place to try to go win a game if you're the road team, right? And you lose that when it's all bright and shiny, I think, a little bit. I think the Staples Center tried that in the NBA where they only illuminated the floor. But
the old Mariucci was all wood. I think there were wood benches. Maybe they upgraded them to plastic before they moved out of there. But, Doug Boog, who kind of was part architect in the building of the new place, he said, when we got into the new place, we lost something. I said, what? And then he mentioned the theater lighting. And then the other thing he said, we have seats now. We have chair backs. Mm-hmm. And now people just sit back and they're too comfortable. Yeah. He said,
there's some truth to that.
When you're on the
benches before.
Yeah, when you're on benches, you got to be up and you got to be into the game.
Yeah. Sometimes you stand up to restake your seat.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
Because you're getting moved out. You're like, everyone stands up. Danny?
Grimmer, I was just going to say, talking about that studio or the stage lighting, Madison Square Garden, our two trips that we had there. Not in the Big Ten, although in the Big Ten, and we did have a Big Ten tournament there. Nothing like it. Just in terms of being in that stage, and you're right on, right in the middle of New York City.
Great spot. Yeah. You guys did hockey there, right? Yeah.
I forgot how. That's one of those places where you just have this vibe when you walk into it.
You can't even describe it because even like the NIT games we did, there was 3,500 people there maybe. And but it didn't matter. Right. Like you take that elevator up that the elephants ride in for the circus, and you could fit. You could fit. I mean, the whole team rides in one. You could park the bus in the elevator and go up, and then you just get in there, and there's a vibe. I think we played UMass in one of the games, so there was a little bit of a crowd.
We
there.
played St. John's in one of the games. So it was a home game.
Yeah. That was one of the preseason.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was just.
I think I've done like 8 or 9 games there.
Just a really cool place to get to work courtside.
So it varied. Yeah. We were courtside most of the time. After one of the NIT games, they wanted to switch over to hockey because there was a Rangers game, I think, the next night or the next day. And they unplugged us. We got knocked off. Everyone. We played Washington because I remember the Washington announcers like, "You get knocked off." Yeah, we're off. And the Union dude, the New York Union dude, gave no worries about us being on the air. And I was yelling at him, and he gives me the look like, "Not my problem." They told me to move on. So I think we actually might have finished on a cell phone. And then we did the Big Ten tournament. We were up because I think the NBA announcers have even raised up. Did you do the one game, or have you done a few from Madison Square?
Well, we did one game when they were doing that Big Ten thing there. We played Michigan State, and what I remember about that second time that we were in there is how much closer. They had remodeled the press box, I think, maybe 10 years ago. But when we were doing North Stars games, Frank and I, back in the 80s, I'll never forget the first time we went in there, John Davidson was doing color for the Rangers, and he comes over to us and he says, "You know what? You're a city block from center ice up here." Yeah. And what I noticed most when we went in the second time is how much closer to the ice you were with that remodeled press box. Much better sight line.
And they would always have numbers trimmed with 7 colors, in the back of and you just couldn't read anything. It was, man.
That's one thing. I mean, this is another Grimmer sidebar here. I'm always impressed with you guys and really whoever does hockey, because you guys are always at the top of the arena, right? Because almost or up higher. Like we get courtside some, and even at Williams and Ohio State and some others, we're just not even halfway up. we're in the Wisconsin for the Wisconsin men's basketball games. They give us the hockey TV press box. Which I like.
Which is I thought it was awesome.
I like because I'm a space guy. I want all the space. I don't want to sit that close to Spencer, right? And he's a big dude. He smells sometimes, and he takes up space. And Robotham brings a small army of gear. So if the more space, the better. But most of my colleagues in the league complain because it's so high up. And I'm like, well, hockey guys are here all the time. Yeah, the TV hockey booth is where the men's basketball road radio goes. See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think that's one of the best sightlines.
You guys are always way up there, right? Yeah. You're always way up there. We're, I think, in basketball different. And I don't mind it because I like the space and, you can see down on the court. And my eyesight is still good enough at least to see numbers. But man, with hockey and the speed of that game, I'm always impressed with how you guys from that distance can identify guys so quickly and get all that done.
Well, thank you, but we're in 6,000 seat arenas. We're a lot closer than I really feel for the guys in the NHL who are in these new ultra modern places and they're block and a half, 2 blocks away. I mean, Excel is great and you can see there because the lighting is so good, but you miss the small details of deflections and passes and things.
Yeah, crazy time. Dan Riesig, we want to thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you. Got to get back to my real job.
Yeah, off you go. He's got Edina City Hall meetings.
I think we all need to do that. I mean, we should say bye to Riesig. But
yeah, well, I just want. I'm in the process of saying bye to everybody. But City Hall may be burning down, so he has to go. Let's hope it's not. Edina native Justin Gard, thank you for now a couple of weeks here. You're now 4 times a guest in this.
It's great to be on it. Yeah, it's great to see Frank and Wally. It's good,
isn't it? Yeah, it's good to catch you. These guys are awesome. I mostly Fridays. Fridays are my night I spend with Wally and Frank. Saturdays get a little busy depending on football or basketball or what have you. But Friday nights, guys, you guys have kept me company for so many years. It's been fun. And this is now your 3rd trip here. We had you on and last week and then back in, I think it was March or April. So we'll have you on again. But, man, it was fun catching up and getting all this stuff.
Absolutely. And you're my Saturday afternoon companions on the road or wherever. I've got the app, and I don't really need TV to listen to Gopher football.
Well, I always have you guys on heading into our home games. Yeah. When you guys got an afternoon game, I'm always listening to you guys.
That's great, man. Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Well, good enough. Thank you, guys. Episode number 31.
There is our tour of the Big Ten on the Go Gopher podcast, episode number 31. I hope you enjoyed some of the stories and have been able to watch some games in some of the spots we talked about. We hope to see you at one of those venues around the Big Ten wearing maroon and gold. Episode number 31 of the Go Gopher podcast is presented by Sunbelt Business Advisors and True North Mergers and Acquisitions. If you're buying or selling a business, visit sunbeltminnesota.com or tnma.com today. We're also sponsored by State Farm agent Tony Hoagland, and again, a hearty welcome to new partner Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union. So many great people there. We're always proud to talk about the great work they do. Again, I'd invite you to listen to past podcasts, and please, right now, if you haven't already, be sure to click the subscribe button to the Go Gopher podcast. It's absolutely free to listen. You can also share the link on your social media channels. We'll talk again next week.